I wanted to quickly talk about, because we have the dev talk coming up, and the season 1 preparation is happening as well. There's gonna be a big announcement, probably about the date of the season and stuff. And I quickly wanted to talk about, and maybe also hear your thoughts, chat, about what you think, or what your hopes and dreams are for the upcoming season 1. I would think it's gonna maybe start on the 21st. That would be my guess, but we're probably gonna get the announcement date on the Thursday. They're probably gonna announce the theme. That would be my expectation. They announced the theme on Friday, and they also announced the date probably somewhere around the 21st. They said like mid to end of July. I think the 21st is most likely for season 1 to start. Like the Friday is usually, or maybe the Thursday, like somewhere around here. Minus a week, like 27th, I could also see possible. And yeah, we had all these patch notes about the recent balance stuff. This is a pretty big one here. But I felt this patch, while it was a big step in the right direction, in my opinion, it didn't really address all the current balance issues that we have. I mean, especially after like 6, I don't know like who's counting, 6 Barbarian nerfs. And there's been like buffs throughout the board. I can like really judge the Barbarian side and like slightly on the Druid and the Necro. But after all, these buffs were not really impactful enough. I mean, maybe the kick one helps quite a bit with some builds. It's definitely a step in the right direction, right? But like, you know, like a 2% damage buff on Frenzy, like it's not gonna cut it. Like it's not gonna make it any more viable than it already is. Like you need like a ×5 DPS at least, maybe a ×10. The leap helped a bit, but like here, like man, you just get some more slow from leap. Like who cares? You know, maybe it helps a bit on some builds with the stagger. Yeah, but overall, in my eyes, there was no big balance patch, at least as of now. And I really hope, that's one of the things, I really hope we're gonna see something like that for season 1. Just addressing some of the issues. Like, it's just quantifiable fact, guys, that every class can kill Lilith in about 90 seconds. And the fastest kill on Barb I've seen is like 6 minutes by now, 7 minutes. And that's like fully min-maxed, gear swapping, super tryhard, everything. And every other class, like I didn't even try on my Necro. I just went in and I killed her. Like 90 seconds kill. My gear is not even like half of what my Barb has. I really hope there will be a big patch coming again for the season. What do you guys think? I don't know, will there be, like, is there a chance for a big patch again? Because, you know, they talked about this, like, 13 pages of patch notes that we're gonna get. And, I mean, this is, like, quite a long balance patch, but it's mainly, like, minor buffs, right? There's no, like, huge balance changes to anything. Like, the poison is still crazy on the rogue, the bone spear is still insane, the necro is still immortal, the Tornado Druid just does way too much damage and has, like, 1,500 crit damage. All that kind of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff. Like, the Gorge is just a useless item now, man. Barb feels like support. Yeah, you know? And, I mean, that's what they did in Diablo 3 in most cases as well. You guys remember Diablo 3 metas? The Barb was always on the ZDPS class. It never was a damage dealer. I think there was one season where Hoda Barb was, like, viable, okay. But in the end, the Ball Lightning Demon Hunter won anyways. So Barb has been on the support side of things for years and years in D3. And, I mean, right now in D4, it's going into a similar direction. Because, I mean, I tried. I've been maxed, man. I have plenty hours on Barb. I have, like, more than 1,000 hours in this game in total. Like, way more by now, I guess, with all the testing phases and stuff. I really hope we're gonna see some balance changes overall to at least address the endgame Lilith issue. Like, leveling is also a big concern, right? Like, classes like Rogue just crazily excel in leveling. Like, they are going at the speed of light, and they have the important aspects in the Codex of Power. They get the Twisting Blade, like, you know, make it spinny, like spin around you. They get that in the Codex of Power. While all the other classes, like they rely either on a unique or on like a legendary, like the Bold Chieftain, or the Flash Ring on the Necro, or the Tempest Roar on the Druid, that you just can't get on the Codex of Power. But rogue players, you just start the game, you do like whatever dungeon you need to do to get the Tempest Rush spinny thing, and you're good to go, basically. You know, like you're already crushing, you have your endgame build ready, it does insane damage, and you have all this utility. So I'm just kind of worried about the playing field there. You know, like Barbs and also Druids have it so hard at the start. Like a Druid, you don't have Tempest Roar and stuff, and at the start it's just slow. Same for the Barb. And these changes, they help a little bit with that. You know, they make the early game a bit more accessible for these classes. Like helping with the generators and also helping with the Fury issue. But it's not going to cut it. Like the Rogue is still miles ahead in my opinion. And maybe there's other classes too. I don't know really what... for example, the Necromancer looks in leveling. But I think the Bone Spear is strong throughout the board, but in comparison to the Rogue, the Necro just lacks the mobility, I feel. Oh yeah, Pulverize. Yeah, maybe there's some good builds. Like, I haven't looked at all the stuff. But I know for Barb, guys, if you don't have, like, your Bold Chieftain and stuff, and you can't get it in the Codex, like, how are you gonna compete? Like, let's say 1-50 or even 1-100 with a Rogue. Like let's say similar player, similar skill set, right? A similar dedication. I think if I would start Barb in the new season, I would just, with the current patches, like, you know, I hope there will be changes, and I'm very sure there will be changes. It's just like handicapping yourself just way too much. Like, because I had some plans, or I still have those plans, like, you know, I think there's going to be a lot of competition, and it's going to be a really tough and a fast race this time to level 100. But I think I would just be handicapping myself like crazy if I start Barbarian on Season 1. So currently, what I'm planning to do, obviously I haven't even played Rogue much yet, but I've just seen what Rogue can do, and I'm thinking of starting with the Rogue. Just because of the fast nature of the race. Like, we've done some calculations, I have some videos out about, you know, like how long I think the race will be to level 100. It's gonna be a really quick one, guys, with the Nightmare Dungeon XP boosts. Yeah, there's no official leaderboard, I know, but there will be, like, you know, an unofficial leaderboard, and, you know, there will be some, you know, if it's not official, we're gonna have some unofficial race, like the one here that Diablo Builds hosted. And I think this was really good. They have, like, a live stream running 24/7 for the launch. And there was the softcore and the hardcore race. And this was very popular, guys, even though there was no in-game leaderboards. And it's just a very nice way for players and the community to interact. Especially the hardcore race was super fun as well, with people dying left and right, because, yeah, it's a crazy hard game, man, in hardcore. There's a lot of mechanics that can kill you, even in town, I heard. And yeah, the softcore race was pretty quick. Like, I think I did it in, what was it, like, around 52 hours? With 6 hours of sleep in the middle. And I think this time, with the buffs to Nightmare Dungeons, and we can also skip the entire campaign, basically. So I think it's gonna be, you know, around 5 hours of time save in the campaign, and then another 20-ish hours of time save. Because you basically gain double the XP now if you're playing Nightmare Dungeons, in comparison to before. So I'm thinking it's gonna be like a 20 to 25 hour race. But yeah, we're gonna do, yeah, like the race is gonna be about 25 hours in my estimation. I mean, not, if you're playing Barb, it's probably 30 hours. And maybe on other classes as well, like Druid, if you don't have your legendaries. Like, I think a Rogue could do it in like 25 hours or something. We'll see. I think Rogue will be the most played class anyways with the current patch for the new season. And I'm still gonna do Barb later on. I'm just gonna start off for Rogue and then reroll Barb. That's at least the plan for now. But yeah, it's gonna be one stream race, yeah. Like, I mean, even if it's 30 hours, right? I would do, here's the link. I would do a one stream. And, you know, I like this. Now it's really about preparation and strategy. You know, I think preparation and just strategizing it really well. Like theory crafting and testing beforehand. What's the fastest way? What's the fastest way from 1 to 50? Like, how do you do the mid game? Like, how do you progress from like 50 to like 75 into your end game build? And then what do you do? You know, from 75 to 100. I'll probably make a lot of videos and tests and live streams about that in the next days. But yeah, overall, the rogue, I think, just has it really good there. And the preparation probably will be 80% of the race already, and then it's just the performance, right? Like, it's gonna really come down to who has the best strategy, who has planned, and who has prepared himself well to the race. And it's not gonna come down to who just can't go to sleep, because if the race is like 100 hours, man, it just comes down to who can sleep the least and still perform. What is the season theme gonna be? Are they gonna go like crazy, like add a completely new progression endgame system like they did with late D3 seasons? Like at the altar of rights or whatever it was called, and like you have all this stuff like a complete new endgame system. Or is it just gonna be zombies? It's for sure gonna be zombies, guys. Yeah. Double goblins, kek W, dude. Nah, I think it's gonna be something crazy, and I think they should do it. They should not be afraid. Like just go for it and make something ridiculous that just reshapes the end game, or like even some of the classes, like some of the balance and stuff. Like something impactful, I would say, and I would like. Just go crazy with it. Like, I don't think there will be leaderboards for season 1 yet. We'll probably have those leaderboards somewhere later down the line, at least what they implied in the recent podcast. Like they always said there will be leaderboards, but maybe not for season 1. I think that's something like along those lines, what they said. So yeah, season 1 for me. I would hope for balance changes about the classes, addressing the endgame issues and addressing the leveling right now. Obviously, I would like a season theme that is very impactful. And impactful in two ways. Like, it should be impactful for the endgame, of course, like change your endgame progression. But maybe also something, and I like that about PoE, what they do with the league mechanics, something that you get to experience from the very start of your game. Like you are level 1 in the new season, and maybe at level 5 you instantly start interacting with the seasonal theme or the season mechanic, whatever. I think that's really cool. If it's not only for the endgame, but also for the end game, but also for the early game, right? So have the new player that comes back after playing a couple of weeks on launch and now comes back to Diablo 4 again, have some new experience like pretty much instantly when they just make their new character in the season. They're having a lot of fun, with some season theme that does something while you're leveling and progressing your character into the end game. And then obviously the season theme should carry on the mechanic or the system into the end game. And also have a big impact there. And yeah, maybe we'll also see leaderboards. We'll see. Yeah, PoE leagues. Something like, I think they can take the good of both worlds, basically, right? There's definitely, you don't have to like reinvent the wheel. Like, there's so many good ideas out there already. And you can tweak them, adjust them, and make them just cool and impactful and feel good for the game. Yeah, so balance changes. A very cool new seasonal theme. And the third thing I would hope and dream for the season is this. We need more space. And there's no sugarcoating it. You can see here 10 out of 10 characters used. Like right now, I can't even make a seasonal character because every pixel on all of my accounts, on all of the characters, is just full. Like, we fucking need more stash space, please. It's so ridiculous, man. Like, you make... So right now, I'm playing, like, 4 classes, right? I have, like, 4 classes on 100 or close to 100 with the Sorcerer. And there is just no space. Like, I don't know where I can put my items. I already started, extracting, like, all the best in slot roll, like, all the max roll legendaries. I already started extracting them, like, spending millions and millions of gold. Just extracting it, even though I don't need the aspect right now. And I made, man, it's 2023, and I have to make Mool characters here. So I think this is a huge problem that I think many of us here experience, and we just need more stash space. And one stash tab per season or something is not gonna cut it. Like, there needs to be, I don't know, like 20 character slots or something at least. Like, you can't even make every class if you're playing hardcore as well. I know I have some friends that play softcore and hardcore and play every class. And then how are you going to do this softcore and hardcore and season on every class? Like, it's just not going to work. and making Moor characters, man. Like, I feel like 20 years ago in Diablo 2 again, you know. I'm on this character, I don't know, I call it helms and defensive items, and the inventory, everything, every pixel, like, let's go in. It's just fucking full. And yeah, maybe they'll monetize stash space. Obviously, that's not the best in slot outcome, but it's still better than not having stash space. Because right now, I feel like there's an artificial problem of not having space. And yeah, look at this guy. I think I took like 2 aspects off him, but you know, like everything is full. Like I made some space here, but there's just I'm here I'm throwing my loot and then I'm trying to sort it. But it's just everything is full, and these are good items, and I'm just on a Moor character in 2023, man. It makes me feel like, you know, 1999 when we had Moor characters in Diablo 2. I even made a second account, guys. I made a second account just to moor some yellow items that I might want to use. And I think that's a huge issue, man, that many people face. Is just they don't have space. And the game just doesn't feel fun when you have to spend, I don't know, like 20, 25, maybe even 30%, a third of your playtime, just trying to manage your inventory and your stash. Because the in-game system just isn't good. Like, there's no search, there's no quality of life. I can't search here. I can't even search in my friend list. Like, there's like, Battle.net, thank God, has now 400 friend cap, but I still can't search my friend list. I can't search my chest, my stash, and I definitely can't search my moods. Like, I need to know, or make a, I don't know, an editor document and write down where everything is. Or else I have no chance of finding my items again, and you can't even filter for aspects or anything. Those are kind of my wishes, man. 1, balance changes. 2, impactful seasonal theme throughout the game. Do something crazy. And 3, more stash space, please. I think those are my top 3. What I want from Season 1. And the announcement is going to be happening this Thursday, in 2 days from now. And I can't wait, man. Oh yeah, and 4, I mean, we gotta nerf the Barb, guys. It's way too strong, clearly. Like, looking at all these Druid clears, man, we need another Barb nerf. Like, there's no way around it. There's another point. Trading. So right now, you know, we had... Okay, the real money auction house in Diablo 3 had its problems, right? But why can't we have, like, a normal auction house, like in other games? It doesn't have to be real money, right? Because right now, we are relying on third-party tools, like Tradery, JSP, and Discord, and I don't know, there's a bunch of sites where you can trade. I think most people trade on the Discord, but it's all third-party programs. Like, you have to, you know, this is Diablo, I'm in the game now, but no, I have to go to a third-party site, or program, or whatever, like Discord, in this example. And, I mean, the people here in the Sanctuary, this is the partnered, the official, what is it, like the partnered, official Blizzard partnered Diablo community. Like, this is officially supported by Blizzard, but it's still a third party. Like, you still have to leave the game to get there. And they did a good job with, like, you know, listing all these channels and stuff. But you literally have to go into a channel and search for your item and then hope that there's somebody. And this is already pretty good, but it's still like miles away from an efficient trading system like we have, for example, in Path of Exile. Like, this just takes so long. It's annoying. You have to tap out. You have to leave the game. It's interrupting your flow. And, you know, I'm a player. I like trading on a base level. I really like to trade. I like the social aspect of it. You get to, you know, you get to meet new people. I like that I can, you know, sort of like target farm in segments for an item. Let's say I want, I don't know, a new Barb weapon, like a mace with 800 DPS, crit, vulnerable, main stat, and close or core, whatever. And, you know, it costs about 100 million gold, right? I can take that as a goal and, you know, just do some gold runs, farm Urdu's Cave or something, right? And kind of get gold like that. Guaranteed. It's not an RNG drop. Like, you guarantee can get like 15 million gold power if you're not slacking. And then I know, you know, after 8 hours, I can just go, like, hopefully in-game soon. But right now I have to go on a third-party website. Go here, want to sell Barbarian rares, and then I have to type mace. And have to look through all this stuff. And hope to find the maze that I need for the price that is okay. But there's no system that brings, you know, the supply and the demand together, the buyer and the seller, and creates like a price out of that or something, like it works in the real world. And like, you know, it's fucking crazy. Like, this is just a step back, man. Same with the stash space, man. With the filter system in the stash and all that stuff, like we kind of went steps back from early Diablo 3 days or from Path of Exile or something. And I really hope, you know, they could do something like that. And yeah, I mean, solo self-found mode, that's cool as well. I mean, I always like to interact with players and like to, you know, play with my friends, talk with my friends, talk to you guys on stream. So SSF would not be for me, but I know a lot of people would want that, and why not? Like, just make a solo self-found mode. You can just make a check mark and opt into SSF. I think that'd be great. And you know, like, the auction house doesn't have to be a bad thing. Like, it can be like in World of Warcraft or like in PoE. Like, I understand we don't want the real money auction house back of early 3 days. But, you know, it doesn't have to be like that. There can be like a modernized trading system in the game, so we are not reliant on third-party software or programs. I think it's annoying, man, and it's really inconvenient, and a lot of people, they really, really dislike it, including me. And I love trading, man. I like it a lot, but not this way of trading. You know, like, trading is so hard and so inconvenient in this game that if you actually want to build a good character, you're spending more than 50% of the time just trading items rather than playing the game.